Hey everybody, welcome to another episode of the show. It's your girl Natasha Molina, and today I'm going to be chatting here with DJ Bodega Flee of Roc Nation. Bienvenido. How are you?
¿Cómo está, Natasha?
Todo bien por acá de este lado. How are you doing over there?
I'm doing good. I'm actually in New York City right now. It's a little gloomy day, but you know, we living.
We're living con un poco de lluvia y todo, but todavía disfrutando. In real New York nature, we're always going to enjoy the day. Doesn't matter.
Facts.
So I'm really excited because you've got a lot of new music coming up, ready for release and everything. You have a whole roster of artists that you're working with. I'm gonna have to read it out right now. We've got Jim Jones, Zoey Dollaz, 42 Dugg, Tory Lanez, y después también tenemos a los artistas latinos que nunca se puede olvidar. We got Melii, Rochy, Kiko el Crazy, and Chucky 73. I mean, oh my God. I am so excited. I'm so excited, for real. Before we get into talking about this, though, I want our audience to get to know you a little bit better. So I want to talk a little bit about your background. We know that you grew up kind of all over the tri-state, you know, the Bronx, Harlem, the Heights, a little bit of Jersey too. And then being Dominicano, obviamente, this must have influenced you a lot.
Yeah, it definitely influenced me a lot. I mean, being able to viajar y estar en diferentes lugares, creándome en diferentes lugares, viendo diferentes culturas, ¿tú entiendes? Y estando al lado of different people, it shows you, like, you grow up different, you know? Being in New York and living in the Bronx is something totally different than living in New Jersey, you know, in a town that's, you know, totally different from the Bronx, you know? Yeah. So it definitely influenced me in a lot of ways, and it made me who I am today.
And you started really young in this whole music business, the industry and everything. You kind of went from promoter to DJ, radio talent, a little bit of everything. But at 18 years old is when you first started promoting parties, right?
Yeah, at 18 years old, I started at a club called TBA, which was in Dyckman, when Dyckman only had like Umbrella, TBA, I think it was like Vintage and Skyline, right? Yo comencé a ir para los parties, para decirte la verdad, because when I moved from Jersey to New York, my boys in New York, they was nice at dancing bachata, right?
Yeah.
So I was like, yo, man, these dudes dancing bachata, and you know, I'm Dominican, so I gotta get with it. Yo tengo que aprender cómo hacerlo. ¿Tú me entiendes? Igualito como ellos. No quería verme como un amateur, like a first learner. So
of course, it's siendo Dominicano. Come on.
So I would go to the club by myself, you know, and I would just keep game, and I started learning, and then I started falling in love with the, you know, the networking and being able to talk to a lot of people, and, you know, the music, and seeing the DJs, and seeing how, you know, big DJs like Camilo, Alex Sensation, Lobo, how they used to like interact with the crowd. Que yo me enamoré de todo eso y dije, olvídate de esto, que esto es lo que yo quiero hacer.
Así que nunca aprendiste cómo bailar bachata.
No, al final del día yo aprendí. Ahora soy un experto, ¿tú viste?
All right, got you. We're going to have to test out your skills on some other time, though.
Cuando tú quieras, tú me dejas saber.
Yes, for sure. We got to go up to Dyckman and everything. But that's really cool that you kind of fell in love with the whole party life and everything. You just knew right off the bat at such a young age that this was for you. So walk us through your journey. What happened after? Because you've done so much since then.
So, all right. So when I started promoting, after I did my little parties, I would have a party at Milk Lounge in Spanish Harlem. I would do that. I did Leather Lounge for a little bit, and Dominican parents at the time, they don't know what you're really doing and what you're trying to do.
Yeah.
So
I can relate.
Mi mamá decía, coño, muchacho, ¿por qué tú no vas a la escuela y tú entiendes, te sacas tu degree, toda esta cosa? Y yo dije, mami, pero me estoy buscando dinero. Que no, pero eso no es lo que va para ti.
Así no.
La escuela. So, long story short, I ended up going to school to play basketball because I was a basketball player. I played all sports, basketball, baseball, football. I played at a college in Vermont, y después me mudé para Miami. Durante el tiempo en Vermont, me hacía falta la vida. ¿Tú me entiendes? Me hacía falta viendo la gente mía, la cultura mía, el flow, ¿tú entiendes? Porque Vermont es totalmente el monte y selva para allá arriba. Yo quiero la gente mía de Vermont, que tú entiendes.
Todavía tienes amor para ellos, pero no lo mismo.
It's not the same. So what I would try to do is that in Vermont, I said, you know what? I'm gonna learn how to DJ. And I had a friend that he was Rob Bass's DJ, the legendary Rob Bass. I don't know if you know the song that goes, "It takes two to make the thing go right."
Yeah, I mean, come on, who doesn't?
So I started learning from him a little bit. He started teaching me some stuff. So I took it to Vermont with me. And I would start, haciendo mi cosita, DJing like little parties for like the kids in the school and stuff like that, because I was with them. And that followed along with me. I kept on doing it as a little hobby. Then I took it to Miami with me when I moved to Miami. I was 20. I played basketball over there, and that's when I met Zoey. And this was before Zoey, became Zoey Dollaz. And we were just, in the game and stuff like that. I did that, kept on DJing. I went to another school in Vermont, and then I moved to Tampa. When I moved to Tampa, ahí fue cuando Zoey comenzó a, ¿tú entiendes?, a brillar. Que estaba hablando del Jim Jones y mucha gente. Y yo le dije a él, yo, monstruo, ¿tú entiendes? Estoy súper happy de verte crecer. ¿Tú me entiendes? Porque yo lo vi cuando tú no estabas, ¿tú entiendes?, crecido. So él me decía a mí, it's just a loophole. Once you fall in the loophole, you'll be lit. So eso se me toqueó en la mente. Porque todo es mental, como dice Mafia. Eso se me quedó en la mente. ¿Tú entiendes? And I kept on doing what I was doing in Tampa. I got bigger. DJing didn't become a hobby no more. It was real life, Mm-hmm. And basically my connections and everybody that I grew up with in New York City definitely helped my career in Florida, because the people in Florida would be like, yeah, Bodega Flee, él es de aquí. Pero los tigres de Nueva York dicen, no, Bodega Flee, he's from here.
They're like fighting over you.
Everywhere I went to, Tampa, Orlando, Miami, everybody could say that, I'm from there. And I definitely thank Florida. Florida's definitely been good to me. And I would always say that Florida is my home as well, as well as New York, New Jersey. It's my home. I rep Florida too.
They welcomed you with like open arms and everything. So now I'm curious, because you were saying how your mom didn't understand when you first started in this hustle and everything. At what does she understand now, or at what point did she finally start being like, ya veo?
Nah, I mean, she for her, my mom is a very hard critic. You get me? My dad, I'm gonna give you both of them. Okay. So my mom, I'm gonna give you my dad first. My dad started believing when I was at the heavy hitter retreat. Because I became heavy hitter, they have a retreat, all the heavy hitters get together, and it's a big family, big vibes, So I'm with Lobo, DJ Lobo, which is a big, Spanish DJ and Spanish history, And I called my dad and I got him on the phone, and my dad saw him and he said, "De preocúpese, que él está bien, él está con nosotros," That's when I knew my dad was like, all right, he's good, he got it.
I see what you're doing now.
My mom, on the other hand, my mom didn't believe till probably like this year. That's when she started believing, like, okay, it's real now, like,
So it definitely took a while. Again, like I can definitely understand, our Latino parents, they didn't really kind of grow up with this kind of career path being around or popular at all. So exactly. They don't get it. But that's so good that they finally came around a little bit. I mean, your mom just recently, that's crazy. Yeah. I actually wanted to talk a little bit about how you did end up getting signed by Jay-Z's label Roc Nation. That's insane. It happened pretty damn recently. It was just last year. You said that you credit a lot of it to Tory Lanez, right? Being signed as a DJ on his quarantine live radio series, and then his YouTube concert series as well. Let's talk a little bit about how this happened for you, because that's amazing.
Well, Tory Lanez is like my brother, man. I appreciate him for everything that he's done for me. Alongside with GP Radio, who's my manager as well, alongside with Roc Nation. I credit them a lot because he put me, he gave me light, he put me on quarantine radio. I was a DJ out of Miami, DJing some of the biggest clubs that, Miami has to offer. And when he came around with quarantine radio and he was like, yo, Flee, you want to be one of the DJs in quarantine radio? I said, yeah, let's do it. And it basically took off. The heavy hitters were like, oh my gosh, that's Bodega Flee. That's family right there on quarantine radio. Who played the heavy hitter job? And then once they found out it was me, it was just up from there. After that, I got Anuel to give me the opportunity to also DJ his album release party on a yacht, which was amazing. He performed on the yacht, yeah. After that, I got 50 to help me be a liquor sponsor for his, you know, liquor, which is Branson and Le Chim Diwa. So it was, you know, it was a couple of things that led to the big. It was like a snowball effect, and I'm just happy to be with the biggest, you know, Jay-Z, Roc Nation, La Familia, OG Juan, Apache, Hugo. That's family over there. So I'm just blessed, and I thank it all to, you know, my legend Prince Marquis D, and everybody that's supported me, you know, through this whole time.
Yeah, well, we're so happy that this happened for you. I mean, like, obviously, again, I'm gonna fight with Florida because you're a New Yorker, you're ours, y estás representando grande and everything. Like, that's amazing. But before we move on, I do need to ask, because if not, I feel like I'm gonna be attacked. We need to talk a little bit about the Anuel yacht party that you DJ'd. Come on, give us something. Tell us about it.
So I get a call from Johnny Boy, whose family as well in Miami. You know, if you know Po Boy, you know Rick Ross, you know E-Class, Johnny Boy de lo Duro. Él trabaja con Anuel, Rob G's. He called me and he was like, yo, I got this opportunity for you. I told Anuel for you to be one of the DJs at his yacht party alongside with his DJ, which is DJ Thing. And I was like, man, that's crazy. Like, you know, I was actually with Chucky Said the Thread when I got that phone call. And I told him, yeah, I'll do it. I did it. It was fun. It was something different. Like, we was on the water, jet skis everywhere, boats everywhere. The screen is like big. Wow. I'm like, yo, it's crazy. And I'm over here like it was something that I've never experienced before, you know? But it's Miami, it's paradise. So. And
if anybody knows how to throw a party, I guess it's Anuel. Like, wow. That sounds amazing. I think I remember seeing like some social media stuff back when, you know, and it was definitely lit. Like, he literally had the whole freaking water popping and everything.
Yeah, that's definitely one of my guys. Like, he definitely supports. He's humble. He's not, you know, when he sees me, it's El Domi, El Domi.
Hey.
You already know.
We love that. Blessings on blessings for sure. Now that we're talking about Spanish music and everything, obviously we see how, like, you know, how proud you are of all your cultures and all your heritage, you know. So I want to read you this quote that I saw that you said once, and it's, I'm definitely bringing the crossover culture with hip hop and Spanish music. I'm Dominican, but I grew up in the Bronx, which basically explains me and who I am today. So I wanted to ask you, like, why is it so important for you to mix your cultures together using music?
Well, it explains where I'm from, you know, and where I grew up at. Being in New York, like, all right, so when you go to a party in New York, everybody parties together, you know, and in certain states, it's not like that. If it's a hip hop party, it's a hip hop party. If it's a Spanish party, it's a Spanish party. If it's, you know, a house party, it's a house party. I like New York because they unify it. And it's everybody partying together, and you meeting this person and that person. And it's like, yo, bro, so many different cultures all in one. And that's what I grew up on, you know? So for me to give people something that I've experienced, and it's something that's part of me where I'm from, is definitely something that I want to show people. People like Cardi B are doing it today. You know, Cardi B, Anuel, who also done, and they even using some of the Spanish beats. Like, look at French Montana's new song.
Yeah, I love that one. They're using samples and everything.
Exactly.
Actually, your fellow Roc Nation artist Angelica Villa, you know, she did that on her album as well. She sampled some Anthony Santos. You know, she's Dominican too.
No.
And I love this. I love the cultures meshing together and everything. It's really beautiful. So I feel you for sure. I didn't think about how in other states, though, they don't really, I mean, honestly, I'm not gonna lie, I've only partied in New York and Miami. So, you know, we're the hubs. We got all the cultures mixed together. But that's really interesting that you mentioned that, because I can't imagine, like, you know, just being at a fully Spanish party or just like hip hop, like you said. So los DJs acá, you know, they mix the genres together, and you don't even gotta be Latino. You don't gotta be something to enjoy, you know, whatever genre is playing or whatever. You're all vibing together.
Oh God,
really lovely.
Yes.
So we love that for sure. Now I want to talk about your music that you're going to be releasing. Like we said, I mean, you've got this whole roster of amazing artists that you're working with and everything, you know, son tus hermanos, tus panas and everything. You're going to be mixing dembow, dancehall, hip hop and this and that. And we're so excited for it. Háblanos de esto.
So, you know, I've always wanted to make music. You know, that's basically me listening to, you know, being a kid and driving with your dad. You know, your dad is hella Dominican, and you're in the car with him, and you're hearing all type of salsas, and he's like, "Do you know who this is?" And I'm like, "Who's that?" That's El Gran Combo. Do you know who this is? That's Hector Lavoe. Do you know? And it's like guys from way back. But you know, it's a blessing to just being brought up into that environment and being able to know your history and music.
Mhm.
And that's always been something for me that I've always wanted to do. So I've decided to, you know, make songs alongside with my crossovering the cultures and stuff like that. I've decided to just make records with artists that are friends of mine that, you know, that I've done work with in the past years. So it's a lot of good songs. I got the songs ready. I'm just finishing them up. So I haven't like labeled them all how I'm gonna do them, but there's a couple of bangers in there. So que se preparen la gente porque vamos a encender la discoteca for sure.
Ya me puedo imaginar, en serio, and it's summer, un verano en Nueva York, we're ready to be lit. Denos la música, Bodega, come on, ¿qué espera?
You know your knowledge too, I can tell.
It's true, you got it. So tell us where we can find you, where we can keep up with you so that we know as soon as all of this music drops.
Yes. You can find me at Bodega Flee on that Instagram, at Twitter. You know, and basically in all the clubs near you. If anybody, I'm humble, hit me up on the gram, let me know. I'll write you back, and you know, we'll get it popping. It's what we do. It's what we're blessed to do.
We're so happy, honestly, to have been here talking with you, hearing a little bit more about your story and about your music. We really loved it. Thank you so much for all of your time, Bodega Flee.
Gracias, Natasha. I appreciate you too for this interview.